Hey, have you ever wondered what a person in uniform can get up to? Today, you'll see how the everyday lives of some police officers turned into epic fails that got them fired. These aren't just mistakes, they're real shows that you can't look away from. Each of these incidents has its own story, and believe me, it will make you look at the form from a different angle. Let's reveal what these employees did that caused their careers to collapse like a house of cards. Get ready to be amazed, because these cases will definitely stick in your memory. A police officer is, first and foremost, a responsibility. However, many forget this, thinking that the badge gives them power and immunity. Today, I've put together some videos that capture moments of far from exemplary behavior by police officers, which led to their dismissal. Enjoy the show. The Ministry of Internal Affairs of the Republic of Sakha, Yakutia, Russia, has decided to dismiss 2 employees from the investigative department of the Ministry of Internal Affairs of Russia in Yakutsk, due to a high-profile scandal involving the distribution of an intimate video online. The footage captures an incident that took place in a private home on the Nam Highway, where a police officer was having sex. One of the participants in the incident has also faced disciplinary action. According to the press service of the department, the leadership of the Republican Ministry of Internal Affairs conducted an internal investigation, which resulted in the dismissal of 2 employees from the internal affairs bodies on negative grounds on July 3, 2024. Strict disciplinary measures have been applied to the head of the city police's investigative department, Sergey N., who was present at the party and was caught on camera. The incident took place on the night of June 21 to 22, 2024. On June 22, 2024, the homeowners unexpectedly returned after participating in a sun greeting ceremony and found strangers on the 2nd floor of their house having sex. Everything that happened was recorded on a phone camera and later published online. The mayor of Yakutsk, Yevgeny Grigoriev, described what happened as outrageous. The footage featuring the police officers sparked a huge reaction on social media. Residents of the city were actively discussing the identities of those involved in the incident, sharing information about their positions, ranks, and family statuses. The first to be fired was the main character of the video, Sergey Gu, who worked as an analyst at the Ministry of Internal Affairs in Yakutsk. Following the incident, he deleted his social media accounts and local media reported that he had allegedly left his job on his own. However, it later emerged that he was fired on July 3 for negative qualities. The second employee involved in the incident is believed to be Sergey G.E.'s companion, the girl who was hiding in the shower. The Ministry of Internal Affairs of the region isn't providing any details regarding the second employee. A police officer from Khabarovsk lost her job due to inappropriate behavior on the social media platform TikTok. This isn't the only case where public servants put their careers at risk for internet fame. Professional ethics take a back seat when the love of followers is at stake. In 2021, a police major got his 15 minutes of fame on the internet. TikTok users noticed a video where a woman imitates the sounds of intestinal gas. A video showed a real police major from Khabarovsk. It was deemed damaging, leading to her dismissal. It soon became clear that she wasn't an actress, but a real major of the Russian police, a district officer and authorized representative from Khabarovsk. The internal investigation deemed the video damaging to the honor of a law enforcement officer, and the woman was fired, reported the head of the Information and Public Relations Department of the Regional Ministry of Internal Affairs. This outcome isn't surprising. The federal law on service in the internal affairs bodies of the Russian Federation states that employees must take care to preserve their honor and dignity, and also avoid actions that could damage their reputation before the government agency. The controversial video online forced a police officer, who became involved in an ambiguous conflict, to voluntarily resign from service. In 2012, in Taganrog, a law enforcement officer submitted his resignation after a video of his conflict with a local resident surfaced online. In the footage recorded by a mobile phone, a police officer, threatening with a gun, forces a citizen to go to the precinct. The heated discussion is filled with profanity. According to local resident Oleg Bova, on the evening of April 18th, he and his son were working on improving the yard of their private home, for which they ordered 2 KAMAZ trucks filled with gravel. The trucks couldn't get into the yard because the entrance was blocked by some ziguli. Then, not finding the owner of the car, Bova and the workers moved the car. The returning police officer found that his VAZ 2108 had been moved and turned towards the roadway with a damaged rear bumper. A heated argument broke out. Bova claims the officer fired 3 times. Taganrog police say their colleague was provoked. In addition, according to him, the law enforcement officer fell on his son and, while trying to grab the phone, started hitting him with the handle of the gun. However, the officers from the Taganrog Police Department claim that only the final stage of the conflict was captured on video, and their colleague was the victim of provocation. They have already sent a collective letter to the investigative committee for the Rostov region, demanding an objective investigation into the situation. The letter also mentions that the police officer's opponent has a rich criminal past. The police officer himself regretted giving in to the provocation of an obviously unstable person and submitted his resignation, even though he didn't have to. The former police officer from the Rostov region is named Olga Gaidukova. The 28-year-old woman worked as a community police officer in Novocheboksarsk while also managing an account on one of the social media platforms. She posted funny videos and beautiful photos. For a long time, her content didn't bother anyone, until one day Olga posted a particular video. Unfortunately, that video ended up in recommendations and racked up over 1.3 million views, 25,000 likes, and almost 25,000 shares. It also caught the attention of her superiors, who didn't appreciate the jokes about her salary. Olga was ordered to delete not just that video, but her entire account. She refused, after which she was asked to submit a resignation letter, which she did. Right after she submitted her resignation letter, she was fired. However, thanks to media coverage, Olga has become known throughout the country and now receives many messages of support. She answers everyone and claims that she is not too upset about what happened until she decides what she will do in the future. The police officers from Moscow who were caught on video allegedly shaking down a bribe have been fired from the Internal Affairs Department. This was reported by the news agency RIA Novosti, citing the press service of the Ministry of Internal Affairs. In addition, the commander of the traffic police platoon where the mentioned officers worked, as well as the battalion commander and the deputy commander of the regiment for personnel matters, lost their positions. By order of the head of the main department, a special commission was sent to the Traffic Police Regiment of the Internal Affairs Directorate for the Central Administrative District, consisting of Personnel Inspection and Internal Security Department staff, noted a representative of the press service. The deputy head of the Traffic Police Department in Moscow received a stern warning. In the Perm region, after a video showing his inappropriate behavior was made public, Sergei Nikin, the head of the Economic Security and Anti-Corruption Department of the Gubaka Police, was fired. A video showing the unlawful actions of a police officer towards employees of the Gubaka Ski Center was posted online. An investigative check is being conducted by the Gubaka Interdistrict Investigative Department of the Investigative Committee regarding this matter. The video shows Major Nikin demanding that the head of the municipal enterprise, Mikhail Luzin, and his deputy, Galina Privolinskaya, grant vacation time to his wife, Svetlana, who works at the company. He justified it by saying that his child needed to go to the sea. The conversation between the major and the employees of the ski center was recorded by a surveillance camera installed in the director's office. The main directorate of the Ministry of Internal Affairs for the Perm region reported that on August 10, 2012, the director of the municipal enterprise approached them with a statement about the incident. The check conducted by the Internal Security Department of the main office confirmed the information. As a result, the culprit of the scandal was dismissed from law enforcement agencies for committing an offense that discredited the honor and dignity of a police officer. The leadership of the main department of the Ministry of Internal Affairs for the Volgograd region quickly responded to the appearance of the scandalous video online, reports the Police Ombudsman channel. The footage shows that the officers who came to Volgograd from the region to provide support during the 2018 FIFA World Cup were being fed in unsanitary conditions in a yard next to a garbage dump. The channel reports on the measures taken by the leadership of the police department. The employees who filmed and published the video have been found. The generals have been ordered to fire 2 employees involved in the creation and publication of the video. They were sentenced to 2 days in jail. There has been a change in the commander of our joint police unit. Instead of Lieutenant Colonel Yermoliv, who is described as a good person, Lieutenant Colonel Kadaro Abulat Zusupovich has been appointed, known for his authoritarianism and despotic management style. Kudorov obliges personnel to wear uniforms on the territory of the joint detachment even during their free time. Access to the cafeteria is only allowed in uniform. Drill training is being conducted with the resting shift of personnel, reports the Police Ombudsman channel. It is also reported that the employees are being denied travel allowances. This was shared by the wife of one of the police officers who are working there. They were sent to serve a month earlier than scheduled, and were placed in this terrible camp where the living conditions are minimal. But this is still bearable. There are also other things that are just unacceptable. No documents regarding the business trip were signed. They were sent there under the threat of being fired. No promised travel allowances have been received by May 20th. Right now, it's completely silent. They aren't allowed to leave the base, not even to go to the store. They work 16 hours a day. Even on weekends, they aren't allowed to leave the territory. Why are people being treated this way? Finally, the police were warned that their cell phones could be confiscated. There is practically no connection at the base, and in the city, phones are not needed to avoid filming unnecessary materials. The press service of the main directorate of the Ministry of Internal Affairs for the Volgograd region stated that they know nothing and cannot comment on the situation. The career of Major Vyacheslav Gorniev, the head of the Criminal Investigation Department of the police in the Shtukino district, and his subordinate, Senior Lieutenant Tatyana Perlasheva, ended in 2020 after a selfie was published from the morgue. They were fired from the police after they took pictures in front of deceased individuals. The photos, according to preliminary data, were taken in the morgue of Moscow Hospital number 67. Employees of the Internal Security Department discovered the photos, after which they conducted an internal investigation. As a result, Gorniev and Perlasheva were fired for committing an offense that tarnished the honor of an internal security officer. The head of the Internal Affairs Directorate for the Northwest Administrative District, Major General Anatoly Fisyuk, was punished for shortcomings in personnel management. He was given a warning about not fully meeting his job requirements. His deputies, Colonel Alexei Koroniko, the head of the Criminal Investigation Department Major Sergei Gladyshev, and the head of the Police Department in the Shtukino district, Colonel Ivan Ponyatoykin, are awaiting dismissal from their positions for not meeting the requirements of their roles. 6. On June 6, 2019, a well-known journalist, Ivan Golyanov, was detained in the center of Moscow on Tsvetnoy Boulevard. During the search, drugs were found on Golyanov. Later, during a search of the journalist's home, a package of cocaine was found. However, it quickly became clear that the photos were not taken in Golyanov's apartment, after which they were removed from the website. In Golyanov's case, there were initially many inconsistencies and violations during his detention, which sparked mass protests from human rights activists, the public, and fellow journalists. A number of major publications came out with the cover story Ivan Golyanov. On June 11, 2019, DNA test results emerged in the case, confirming that Golyanov's traces were not found on the drug packages. After that, the charges against the journalist were dropped, and he went from being a suspect to a witness in the case. On June 21st, a representative of the Ministry of Internal Affairs of Russia made an official statement, reporting a number of violations in the actions of the police officers who conducted the arrest and search. The hearing in the case began in December 2020. The names of the accused are the former deputy head of the Internal Affairs Directorate for the Pazeo district of Moscow, Igor Lyakovets, and former operatives from the department, Akhbar Sergelev, Roman Feofanov, Maxim Yungbeev, and Denis Konovalov. Law enforcement officers were accused of illegal drug trafficking, falsifying evidence, and exceeding their authority. In March 2021, Golyanov posted a video online showing police officers following him and planting drugs on him. Everything pointed to the fact that the journalists had been targeted for his investigation. The publication project suggested that Golyanov had uncovered a connection between the capital's funeral business and FSB General Alexei Dorofiyev. All the situations we've looked at are just a small part of what's really going on. Sometimes, a sense of impunity and a lack of life experience can really throw you off track. Now, friends, I want to make you a very interesting offer. You have a unique opportunity to become part of our team. If you have video editing skills, can voice videos in Russian, English, and other languages, or write interesting scripts, we will be glad to work with you. Message our Telegram bot, the link is in the description. That's all for today, thank you for watching.